Hello, this is Surfline Surf Forecaster Chris Borg with your Orange County Register Marine Forecast. This is brought to you by Buoy Weather. Starting off in the North Pacific, lots of storm activity out there now. It is wintertime. We can see it in the latest satellite analysis here. A series of cold fronts heading towards the Gulf of Alaska. We'll be seeing some of that weather later on this week. Looks like we're in okay weather for the next couple of days, though. Latest analysis shows high pressure camp right off our coast. That keeps us in fairly mild weather for the next couple of days as storm systems rage into the Gulf of Alaska, Bering Sea, Gulf of Alaska area. Those will be heading our way slowly, looks like, as we head into the end of the work week, going into the weekend, if the long-range forecast charts are right. Best chance for some real weather, rain, and southerly winds looks like at this point late Friday going into Saturday, if, again, the long-range forecast charts are right. So we're watching those real close, keep posting the progress of those day by day. All swell activity generated throughout the North Pacific right now. You can see right here. There's plenty of out there, especially up in the higher latitudes. The longer ground swell component of that, and there's some of that as well, and it's moving down the California coast. We'll be seeing some of that showing up better in the second half of this week, going into the weekend. Tropics close to the season right now. Nothing going on there. Southern Hemisphere had been kind of close to the season, definitely on vacation. No significant Southern Hemisphere swell in sight for the rest of this week, although the analysis shows that there are storms moving away from New Zealand right now, and that will send some southwest swell our way. Expect to see that late next week, like around the 28th, 27th of next week, and then continuing into the first part of the following month. Until then, though, really no significant Southern Hemisphere swell out in the water, as it's been kind of zonal flow for the underworld for recently anyway. Also activity in the South Pacific right now, west end over the east end over, and you can see it's mostly in high latitudes. Here's some of that ground swell component we expect to show up here by the second half of next week. For Orange County for this week, looking at some weather during the middle of the week, then looks like more weather as we head into the end of the work week. Got some northwest swell in the water on Tuesday, pretty minimal on that. That's mostly 1 to 3 foot waves. For the outer coastal waters on Tuesday, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, getting up 22nd half of the day. By Wednesday, we're looking at 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15-20 in the afternoon. Again, some chance of rain. Wednesday sees west winds about 10 to 15 knots, light chance of rain. Southeast winds on Friday, and those should be picking up to around south 15-20, 25 knots on Saturday if the forecast charts are right. For the intercoastal waters, we're looking at variable winds in the morning, turning west to southwest Tuesday afternoon, 10 to 15 knots. That looks like it looks a little bit lighter on Wednesday into Thursday, but then more southerly winds expected by the end of the work week going into the weekend. Again, if that storm system really does head our way. Surf's on the small side, mostly 1 to 2 to 3 foot waves on Tuesday, picking up more in the 2 to 3 foot range on Wednesday. More size expected going in the second half of the week. Big tide swings, 6 foot plus highs in the morning, negative lows in the afternoon. Next update here at 5 o'clock on Thursday.